So today's video is going to be all the essentials you're going to need for your hamster. So these are going to be the basics to help you get started. Basically like a starter kit if you're new at owning hamsters. So hope you enjoy. So first you're going to need a food bowl. So you basically for a food bowl you can use any sort of ceramic thing. Plastic you can use, but if your hamster turns out to be a chewer, that cannot be good. So I always recommend using ceramic. So this is a ceramic dish from Petco. It was like $2 at Pier 1. They even have like little food dishes for cooking that are about this size, and it's like $5. So not that bad. And for the size, if you want your hamster to be able to fit inside, like this is for a dwarf. It's about like the size of my thumb. So hamsters like to sit on top of their food to protect it. So you're going to want one that your hamster can fit in. For food, I'm using the Hazel Hamster Tasty Mix. So recently Hazel Hamster has came out with this one. They've changed the old one, and I'm kind of in the middle about it. They kind of like lower the protein, so I have to give other things on the side, such as mealworms you can give every once in a while. And you also have to give like flax seeds I give, and all sorts of little things like that that will make up the whole hamster's food. So don't just go buy a generic brand because a lot of them will not be that good for your hamster. So you want to actually do a lot of research about good and bad brands. And I will link you guys to a video down below by Chocolate Colors 26. And she has a list of good and bad hamster mixes. So the next thing you're going to want to get is a wheel. Now wheels can run anything from $10 to $25. They really have like a wide range. So personally, I like the comfort wheel. Now, there's ups and downs to this wheel. First of all, it's $10. This is a 8.5 inch, I'm pretty sure it's purple. And the price is very, very good for the quality. But the only thing is that my hamster, Gidget, the dwarf, runs very fast. So this makes lots of noise. That's the only downside to it. But it actually doesn't affect me too much because I don't really sleep in this room. So it's kind of fine for me because they're nocturnal anyway. So you can also get a flying saucer. Now the hamster just runs like this and it goes around. So these are another favorite. It's basically up to the hamster's preference. I put both of these in the cage for my dwarf, and she seems to really like them. She can go back and forth. So if you have a Syrian, like a very grown-up Syrian, you kind of want to get like a 12-inch. So the whole point of having a wheel is that you want to make sure your hamster's back doesn't arch when it's running. So flying saucer, you won't really have this problem, but you do want to make sure like it's big enough for the hamster to actually fit on. But with an actual wheel, when the hamster's running, you don't want their back to arch, like go up. You want the back to be able to be straight. So for a dwarf, 8.5 is more than enough. Sometimes you can even get like a 6.5, something like that, as long as the back does not arch, because that causes back problems. So 8.5 is good for a dwarf, and along with the 6.5, sometimes it depends. For the dwarf maybe a little bit bigger than normal. Like if it's a baby, 6.5 is good. So a adult Syrian should be having a 12-inch wheel, or anything. Or if it's a small, you can do an 8.5, as long as the back does not arch. Now, if you want to give your hamster another option besides running inside the cage, you can also get one of these, which is an exercise wheel. Now, exercise wheels have ups and downs to them. A lot of people are on the fence about them. Like, I'm in the middle about them. So the thing is that obviously you put the hamster in and you like take the cover and you cover them, right? But some people find that their hamster's nails get stuck in the little air slits. I personally haven't had that problem. Also, the hamster cannot get out if it wants to. So if you're going to use this, make sure it's big enough for your hamster and that you give lots of breaks in between and that you don't do for a long, extended period of time. So let's say if you're using it while you're cleaning up the cage just to give the hamster something to do, you want to take breaks. Like let them run for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes the most, and then hold them for like another minute. Like you want to give them breaks, get food, get water, use the bathroom if they have to. So I'm on the fence about this, but these can run. I got mine for I think $12. Now next up are huts. So huts are really important because it's basically hamster's home. So they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Like this one is a tree trunk. I like to get into my dwarf. I have the walk up small animal barn, which is really cute. It has like stairs this way. That one's plastic. Also, you can have ceramic houses. This is the mushroom hideout, I believe, by the Petco line. And then also you can have stuff like this little peanut house. I think something like that. Also from the Petco line. So these honestly come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but you do want to have a hut in there. If your cage is big enough, you can provide more than just one hut. So your hamster has like like they can choose which hut they like to make their nest out of. So nesting material is also pretty important. Uh, do not use at all cotton bedding, like the fluffy bedding, whatever they call it. That is so bad for your hamster. Their limbs can get stuck to it. They can chew off their limbs if it gets stuck. Very disgusting. Not good. Don't use them. So you can use toilet paper. Is I find the safest for me. Everyone has it. So you can just get like a big wad, give it to them, and they can make their own nest. Choose the house that they would like. Like they just bring it in. They put their food inside, and that will be their home basically. So as long as like you're not using cotton, you'll be fine. And then nesting material along with the huts, and provide more than one if you can, so they have a choice. Now, bedding. So as I said before, bedding is also good for nesting material, but you want to make sure you get the right one. So there's a whole lot of them. You can get the generic, so I feel like a lot of people know this one. It's like the Carefresh bedding. That is very good, but you do want to make sure that it's like dust extracted, which most are, but you never know. If you get an off-brand, it could not be dust extracted. So basically, dust extracted just means that there's no dust. So you can actually tell if your hamster's bedding is dust-free or not, because some labels say they are, but they're actually not, or they could be, or it can't like be that much, if you know what I mean. So such as wood beddings, you can tell if like you clean the cage. You can actually feel it almost like in your mouth, if that makes sense. It's like you can just feel the dust, and it's dusty, and you do not want to get that bedding because it can get them respiratory problems. Now, for other substrates, you can use aspen is a very good wood substrate. You can use the Carefresh, which is like it's a paper based bedding. You can give anything besides like pine or cedar. Now, pine and cedar contain oils that can harm your hamster. So along with like basically like the oils in them can like react to the hamster and cause lots of problems, and also can contain lots of dust. Cedar has always been known as like a bad you cannot give to your animals, and pine has recently been found like within the last couple of years. So it's good to know that you don't want to take information from old resources saying that pine is okay, because you should not be giving pine. So aspen, Carefresh, anything like that. Now, another very important thing for your hamster is have chews. So hamsters have teeth that never stop growing, so giving them chews helps to gnaw them down. If they get too long, it's not healthy. Go to the vet. I'm not a vet, but if they get too long, you do want to make sure, like, if you can see them, like, almost like coming out from, like, their mouth, like, you should really go get that checked out. That's not safe. So, hamsters' teeth should genuinely be yellow, not white. White actually is unhealthy, while yellow is healthy. It's different from, like, what we are used to. So, always give your hamster, like, a self-checkup every so often. So just make sure that everything's good. And I will have a video in the future on how to do that. So you can also make sure that your hamster's teeth are not make sure that they are short by checking with your doctor if you're nervous. Your veterinarian if you're nervous. So if you feel like they're too long, go to your veterinarian. They will tell you what to do, because I'm not a veterinarian, so I don't know these things, but I do know the generic care. Grooming. So hamsters' nails also grow very long. So to make sure that they are wear down, you can have a rock, and so when they like a flat rock, and you put it on the base of their cage. Now, when your hamster walks on it, it will file down the nails. Or if they're too long and your hamster's very tame, you can hold them. You can use cat nail clippers. Now, be extremely careful with this. I would check with other people too on how to do this. This is just how I do it. The hamster's nail has pink, and then it goes to like the white. You can cut the white part. Never cut too close, because you don't want to risk anything. And if anything bad happens, it starts bleeding, you can actually put cooking flour onto the nail beds, and it will stop bleeding. Worst case, But if you're too nervous about that, you can just put a rock on the bottom of the cage. Now, combing out your hamster is not necessary unless you have a long-haired Syrian, which it is recommended. So you can use basically anything. Like, this is actually a knit comb. I got this from like a dog grooming place. And since like the teeth, you see how it looks like it's like one thing. The teeth are so finely together that it will pick up all the hair. You can unmat your hamster. So, short hair hamsters do not need this, but some actually enjoy being brushed out, so you can do it on them if you would like. But you always want to make sure that you can groom it. And if there's ever like a knot, you never want to like risk it to be pulled. So always like start from bottom and up. So don't forget that. Water bottles are an extreme essential. So they can look like this. This actually came from a critter trail, but I don't recommend using those houses. That's gonna be like the next part of this video. But so you can use any water bottle that's drip proof, because if it drips, the hamster can get water on them. And bathing your hamster is something that you cannot do. They take sand baths, which is something totally different, and research should be done about that. But water bottles and water bottle hangers are perfect for your hamster. Now, for your hamster actually having a home, you can use anything from bin cages to homemade DIY cages. All of the hamster cages that are on the market are most likely too small. So you want to kind of basically do your own to make sure that it's big enough for your animal. So I have 2 bin cages for my animals. They are about 110 quarts. So that equals a pretty good amount of square footage. So you can do that, make DIY cages, which are actually very good, like fun thing to do. But critter trails and all the cages that have like the tubes connected, the rainbow ones, that's not that good of something to buy unless you buy about 4 or more, which can take up a lot of space. So it's not the best investment, especially because they are about $40 for like a regular that's like only like this big, which is not that big for your animal. So it can cost up to like $160 to have like the minimum, when you can buy a big cage that's like $20, not even. Now, finally, for the optional things for your hamster, sand mats. Now, sand mats are something that your hamster can take because they cannot be washed with actual water, because it strips the hamster of natural oils that are on their fur, and you do not want to do that. So sand mats is something you can use. Chinchillas actually you can use chinchilla sand, not dust, because dust can mess with the respiratory system. And you can also sanitize children's play stands by baking it in the oven for 350 degrees for a couple minutes, and that will take off all the bacteria, and also sifting that sand for all like little rocks. I will have a video in the future if you want to do that, and if you want to get more into depth with that. So also tubes. Hamsters love going to tubes, burrowing. Like I said before, you can use toilet paper tubes, or you can actually buy a tube like a critter trail tube, even though those are too small. Like, those are okay for dwarfs. You can use ovo habitat ovo tubes are very good. So all those things will make your hamster very happy. Now, I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. Thank you for watching, if you've even watched this far. So following everything you see here, getting all these items, it does come at an expense, but if you buy it little by little and you buy responsibly, knowing, because everything does add up, like food's like 10, wheels can be 10, you really do want to have like a nice amount of money before you go shopping, unless you just want to do like a little bit at a time, because it can get very costly. So don't forget, all the plastic items can be washed. Those are reusable so many times, and like wood tools can be used for quite a long time as well, unless something happens to the hamster, God forbid, but then you have to buy a new one. But basically, once you buy something, you can reuse it for a much longer time. So it is an investment that will pay off in the future, because once you buy it, you will not have to buy it again for a long time, unless it's like food. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!